Zoom has been logging me out. Honestly, today has been really hectic for me. My network is showing me Pepe. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. Mr. Nehemiah, I would be making you, I'm supposed to make you the co-host, but I can just see here that I should make you host. So I would make you the host in case my network fail at any point in time. So yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Please use your comment section to say hi, good afternoon. Anybody that wants to say hi, I would really love that. So Mr. Nehemiah, I just made you the host in case I dropped at any point. Wow. Wow. Hi, Mr. Nehemiah, can you hear me?
Hello, I can hear you. Are you able to hear me?
Okay, please, can you make me the host now? I need to record, and the recording has to work from the end of the host. But I need to record on my end. I didn't know it works like that. Can you just make me the host again? Or have you started the recording on your end?
Not yet. I think I've made you the host.
Okay. Hi, Mr. Nehemiah. Can you hear me? Can anyone hear me? If you can hear me, you can use the comment section, please. Can anyone hear me? Mr. Nehemiah, you can unmute yourself now.
All right, thank you so much. I can hear you well. Thank you so much.
That's serious. My internet has been really messy today. Thank you guys for joining again today. I won't be going through the introduction too much because my internet is really bad. So I'll just and we are already like 30 minutes into the call. So I'll just allow Mr. Nehemiah to jump into the class today. Right. So if you know anyone that needs to be here for this call, please reach out to them and let them know that this call has started so they can actually join in so that they don't miss any of it, right? So please, let's do that. If you know anyone that has registered that needs to be on this call, let them know that the call has started so that they can join in. Hi, Mr. Nehemiah, you can go on. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, and good afternoon, guys. Welcome on board. I believe it's a wonderful time over there on your end. I'm sharing my screen. I want someone to confirm with me if my audio is clear, and also you can see the screen before I begin.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
All right. Thank you so much. So it's a very, very beautiful day again. And today we are going to install some dependencies for this program. And also we'll be setting up some integrated development environment. And because we have beginners here, I want to begin by first of all, telling you what is programming, what is computer programming, and some basics before we install the dependencies. First of all, in coding, we usually use a computer, or maybe let me explain the computer programming. Basically, the computer programming is a way to instruct a computer to do task. Computer programming is a way you instruct a computer to do task, and we usually use the programming language. Remember, the computers do not understand our language. Like it understands the binaries, like zeros and ones. So it doesn't understand our human language. So we usually use a programming language, which acts like a mediator, or maybe like a mediator between the humans and the computers, so that it can convert now our our code or maybe our content here, then it's going to like format it or compile it such that the computer will going to understand what you're trying to do. And then, for example, if it wants to return the response, it will decompile, or maybe you want to get an output, decompile, and then return the response to us. So the computer programming, once again, is a way to instruct a computer to do tasks. And we usually use a programming language as a tool to instruct the computer. So programming language is just a tool that you are going to use to instruct the computer to do that task. So, and this programming language, you need to have an interface where you are going to instruct or maybe write from. So for programming, we don't like write in words. We don't write in Microsoft Word or those Word editors. We have specific notebooks or maybe the integrated development environments where you write this code, and then some of those IDEs, it has the compilers such that when you write the code, then it's going to compile your code to instruct the computer to achieve whatever task you had instructed it. And then if it were to return the response, is going to decompile in a way that we can now understand. You know, the computer I said that it only understands the binary zeros and ones. But then with the programming language and the compilers, then we're able to instruct now the computer to do a specific task, that is programming, computer programming, through the programming language like Python. Python is part of the programming language that we're using it to instruct the computer to do tasks. For example, if it is data science task, machine learning task, or maybe for web task, web development task, or web programming, or any kind of programming task. So we basically use, once again, let me repeat before we begin. So first of all, we have the computer programming. I said is a way to instruct the computer to do a particular task, and it doesn't understand our language well, like the human language. So we need to have a tool that we are going to use to instruct the computer. And that tool is a programming language. So the programming language is going to work as a mediator, which it has its syntax. Like we have very many programming languages, so they are going to act like the mediators between the humans and the computers, such that when you write your instruction through, or maybe by following the syntax in a specific programming language, you're going to do what you're going to instruct now the computer and to do that task. And then it's going to like return the response. For example, if you told the computer, for example, to print something here in the console, and then that's an instruction that you have given the computer, and then it's trying to achieve or to execute that task. So we usually use this programming language to achieve those tasks. If it's the data science task, web programming task, or any other task. Now, in data science, we'll be using mostly Python as our core technology, or maybe the core programming language for data science task. And it has its specific IDEs. It has its specific IDEs. And I think I'm sharing the tab. Let me share the screen. Let me see if there's a way I can share the entire screen. Let me see the entire screen. Are you able to see my screen? For example, when I go to another window, are you able to see these other windows? I'm trying to share
No,
my
we
entire
only
screen.
okay, yeah, we can see your other window now. I don't
All
know,
right.
guys. Do you have your laptop with you? You can use the comment section. Let us know what you have with you. Because today the section will be hands-on. We'll be trying to install. So if you have your laptop with you, you have to follow as Mr. Nehemiah is doing it. So at intervals, Mr. Nehemiah will be asking you if you're following and if you've done what he has done. So that we'll know that you guys are following. So yeah. So if you know that you
Yes.
have your laptop and you have your laptop with you, just say, yes, I have my laptop in the comment section. Yes, I have my laptop in the comment section. So that we'll know how many of us are being hands-on and we can assist each other. For people that don't have their laptop, they will be able to ask us questions in the community on how to install and we can help them. Okay, great. So yeah, Mr. Nehemiah,
All right.
let's
Thank you
keep
so much.
dropping our answers. So that
All right, thank you so much. And also, during the, like as I continue, you can be dropping, for example, the question, or maybe you're curious about something, just please drop that question or something in the comment. And then because we have muted, because we have many people here to allow you all to unmute, we are going to have chaos here. So you can drop your questions in the comments as we progress. And then Aisha, in the course of anything, like in the course of my presentation, you can just stop me and tell me that there's some question. But also I'll be having the intervals where I'll be taking the questions. But also during the progress, just be dropping the questions in the chats. All right, thank you so much. So we said that in this program on machine learning and artificial intelligence and generally data science, we are going to use Python as our core technology for achieving this machine learning task. So we need to have Python in our systems. We need to have Python in our systems. And the first thing that you always want to do is to check if you have Python in your system. And I remember, first of all, today we are going to install these Python and editors, but also we'll talk about some basic on the command line, but it's going to be very quick. So so we are going to use our command line. So if you're using Windows, we have a command line tool called command prompt. If you're using Windows, it's called command prompt or PowerShell. Or if you're using Mac OS, you can just search for terminal. Or maybe if you're using a Linux, you can just search for terminal, and then you'll find that command line tool where you can write now the commands, where you can write the commands. Like, it is different from the code editor. These are just like commands for your specific operating systems. So I can search, for me, I can just search for command prompt. You can just go to the system search and then search for command prompt or CMD if you are on Windows. But if you are on a different operating system, just search for terminal. Just search for terminal. Of course, we shall also install Bash, which will be similar, like it will have the similar functionality or a similar interface across different operating systems in the course of this presentation. But at this juncture, you can just search for command prompt. Those who are using Mac OS or those who are using Linux, you can just search for terminal or any other operating system. Just search for terminal, then you'll find your terminal in the system. Then you can just type here Python to check if you have Python.
Somebody said he has Ubuntu. Somebody said he has Ubuntu.
So for Ubuntu, you can just search for terminal. Just search for terminal, and then unless also you are able to follow and as well do on your end. If not, this class is being recorded so that you can follow up maybe later. Unless but if you're able to manage like to follow and also do it on your end, and then that's okay. But if not, then you could want perhaps to follow up so that you master the process, and then you'll try to redo it later. Otherwise, some people, when they they do it on their end, then I present here, you might miss some things, and then later perhaps it might be difficult. So this class, it is being recorded, and I believe you'll be able to upload on YouTube, and then people will be able to access it. But you can just go for the one who asked about the Ubuntu, you can just search for, I think Ubuntu operating system uses, you just search for terminal, just terminal. You'll find it, something like this, where you can write the command. Then when it opens, it will open at your root directly there. From the username, then your root directory, then you can just type here Python, Python version, Python version. And then if you have Python, then it's going to display the version of Python you have. And I believe most system, when you install, when you install like a new operating system, most likely it will come with Python. But then if it doesn't come, like if you don't have Python, it will tell you like Python not found or some similar statement. Now I want to uninstall and show you how you can install it. So let me go to quickly on my control panel. because I want you to follow these steps that I'll be taking so that you may follow it well. I want to uninstall my Python here, and then I'll show you like the correct way on how you can install, because there's some things that you need to pay attention, otherwise it will not work well. So let me just uninstall, and then I'm going to show you how you can reinstall. So first of all, is it uninstall? We have the, I'm trying to hide this thing here.
Sorry, Mr. Nehemiah, can I just ask, do some
Yes.
of us have this Python installed on our system before? Or
Yes.
all of us are just trying to install it? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so I'm just asking if some of the participants, if you have Python installed before, or all of us are just installing it, so we can just try to carry everybody on so that we would know how many people has installed it as you are doing it. Yeah. So somebody is saying
Yes.
that Python 3.1, 3.1, is it okay?
Yeah, Python 3.11, right? Python
He said
3.11, right?
3.1, 3.1. Okay, Mr.
Okay, let
Nehemiah
me
said
see.
3.11 for us trying to install. How many of us are
All
trying
right,
to
so
install?
now I'm going to show you the best version. You know, we have the latest version, which is not stable. Like whenever you install these latest versions of these, you know, like for example, Python, it has its packages, and those packages depends on a particular release of Python. So you might have like the latest version, which is unstable with other dependencies. So when you'll be trying to install like something else, you'll find out that it's not compatible with the latest version. So I'm going to tell you like the very stable version just in a second, so that you can install that version, and also so that you can be on the same page. So that I don't install something, it works on my end, and on your end it doesn't work. So if you don't have so the best version it is, or maybe the stable version is Python 3.12. I know there's a release on Python 3.13 and a 3.14, but it is unstable. Unstable because I've used it before. It's unstable with other dependencies, so it's going to like inconvenience you. It's just our latest release, which is unstable. Like we have packages that depends on these versions of Python. So if you have the latest, you need to wait for those other dependencies to update their packages so that it can align with the latest version of Python. So I want to show you the stable version. I'll drop the link in the comment. So you go to python.org. There's something here that is trying to hide me. I don't know how I can remove here. Let me see. Oh yeah, thank you. So you can just open a new tab and then search for python.org. So you can go to your browser. You can go to your browser, be it Chrome or Opera, a Microsoft Edge, or whatever kind of browser you're using. Then on the search bar, search for Python, python.org, python.org. Search for python.org. So this is the official website for Python. I want to drop it in the comment, in the link here. Yeah, Python 3.10, it's okay. That's a very stable version. But if you want us to be on the same page, you could use the version that I'm going to show you. So this is the official website for Python, www.python.org. But don't go to download this version. Don't download this Python 3.12, 13.2. This is an unstable version. This is not a stable version of Python at the moment. Like if you have this one, and let's say you're working on a big project, you'll have issues with other dependencies for these projects. So what you do, you go to the pre-release. Like we have this version. I think it's already here. This version of Python 3.12. So this is the very stable version, and when you scroll down, you'll notice that I will have this other release. So you go to python.org, which is this is their landing. So this is the landing of this Python python.org. Then you go to the downloads tab. You click on the downloads tab, and then you scroll down. Don't install this version 3.13. Scroll down until you find Python 3.12.9. You know, it's stable, but there's some packages that depends on these releases. So if Python 3.13 it has been released, so other packages will need to adjust for you to be able to use this 3.13, and it's going to inconvenience you. So the best way is to use a stable version, this Python 3.12 or maybe even 3.11. But let's use this 3.12 because so that we may be on the same page. So this is the version. Then you click here, download, and then it's going to download the installer. It's going to also take you to this page. It's going to take you to this page so that you can download like a different version. Okay, like for your operating system. So for Windows, for those who are using Windows operating system, and especially those that supports 64 bits, I think Windows 8 onwards supports 64 bits. So you're going to use a 64 bits here installer. Otherwise, for example, if your operating system is Mac OS, you could use this one, or a different operating system. You'll select your operating system. Yeah. So you select the installer for your operating system. So I'm going to install here Windows installer 64 bits, and then it's going to download to my downloads folder. Let me see if there's some questions in the comment. Yeah, so basically, okay, let me for those who are using Windows, let me give you a direct link to download. Copy link address, then the chat. So those who are using Windows operating system, then I've shared the direct link. I believe you're able to see. You can confirm if you've seen the link. Just say yes. As I wait for it to, okay, it has already completed. So it's going to download to your direct to your downloads or whatever downloads you are using. For example, mine is here, the download. So what you do, you just double click on this setup file, and then it's going to do it. It's going to initiate the installer. And that is where, guys, I want you to pay more attention. I believe you can see this small window. You're able to see this window for the installer. All right, great. So, guys, basically this very, very important section when you're installing Python. So first of all, you need to ensure that this Python is added to the path. Ensure that you have checked this checkbox here to add Python to your path, so that it can be like in your environment variable, so that Python can be accessed anywhere across your system. So when you add it to the Python setup to the path, it will be like you're trying to include it in the environment variables, in your system environment variables. For those who are using Windows, Windows operating system, you'll have this thing. So ensure that you check it, and then also you can. So once you've done this, then click this first option to install. Remember, this second option is to allow admin privileges when installing this Python. Like it's going to prompt you. It's going to open the what do we call it? It's going to prompt you something that is going to trigger a prompt, so that you either accept or don't accept to install Python in your system. So this one is not a must. You can just leave it at that. But ensure that you're using this first option, because I want to install like a very, very important package. It's called a package manager for Python. So we have a package called a PIP. Which is a Python package manager. So this is the file that I will be using to install a data science module, machine learning modules, Python packages, and all that. So make sure that it is included. Make sure that it is included, and also it's also going to come with other very, very useful modules like a TK Inda for graphical presentation of the GUI compiler for graphs like matplotlib. Soon we'll be learning about visualizing data. So it's going to come with the GUI compiler here. So you are going to use this first option. When you click on it, then it's going to automatically install Python. Now, first of all, because I've removed, I should have shown you first. So when you remove and then you try to search, for example, Python version, Python version, if it's removed, you'll get this kind of an error that Python was not found, run without argument to install. Like you're going to have this kind of display if you're using Windows operating system. So you'll see this kind of thing. But once you install, once this one is going to complete the installation process, then when you try to do a Python -- version on the command line, then you'll be able to do it. You will be able to do it to see the version of Python. Yes. So as you wait for it to install, just a quick reminder up to where we are. I just want to pass time as I wait for it to install. I said that computer programming is a way you instruct the computer to do tasks. And we usually use a programming language to instruct the computer to do those tasks. And one of the programming languages like Python, of which we have installed, or maybe we're installing, and I see it has already completed to install. So now the Python is installed in the system. So when you do now a quick search here on the command prompt here, and then search for, you just click open, then it's going to open your root directory. Then you're going to type here Python version, Python version. Then you can see now I have this Python 3.12.9. So at the moment, this is the stable version. This is the stable version. I know this video is going to be uploaded on YouTube. Perhaps you'll be watching in the future. By the time we are recording, the stable version is 3.12.9. But then for those who will be watching in the future, I think there will be another. But always don't go for the latest version. Always don't go for the latest version, because we have other dependencies or packages that depends on a specific version of Python. So if you want to install that package in the latest module, then you might have the issue, especially if you want to deploy those projects online. So you might have those kind of an issue. That's why you always opt for stable version of these tools. Now we have Python in our system, and if you are, yes.
Hi, Mr. Nehemiah.
Hello?
Okay, so there's a question in the chat. The person is
Yes.
asking if he should uninstall version 3.1, 3.1 first. So you can check. The person is asking
if
I
can see here.
Should uninstall.
Uninstall, yeah, you have to uninstall. You have to uninstall, otherwise you'll have two interpreters, and that's going to inconvenience you to know which one to select. So the best way is to first of all uninstall. You can go to the control panel and uninstall first of all version 3.13 and its installer. Make sure that it is fully removed. And then perhaps sometimes you'll want to reboot. And by the way, for those who will be installing Python for the first time, you will have to reboot your computer. Or I think it will also automatically reboot the computer for it to configure it in the system. But then because for me, I had it before, I didn't reboot it, but for you, most likely you'll have to reboot once you have installed the version. But for those who you're using previous version of Python or maybe the latest, make sure that you can uninstall and use this version, someone that has shared here, 3.12.9. So this is a stable version at the moment. And also it will help us to be on the same page, such that I will not need to other configuration to meet your specification and all that. So make sure that we are on the same page. This is the stable version this time, 3.12. So don't go for 3.13 or 3.14. Just use 3.12 and below. Below also it shouldn't surpass 3.10, 10. So these are the stable versions. So to answer your question, uninstall, make sure that you will uninstall. If you're able to do now is continue, that's better. If not, then the recording is being, the video is being recorded. You will follow later on how you can uninstall. Is it clear?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Can we just have people that have installed just drop a comment section and say, I have installed my own, or I have installed Python, so that we'll know how many of us are carrying and are being carried along in this class. Let's just say I have installed Python. Just use the comment section and let us know how many of you have Python installed already on your computers. We wouldn't want the tutors just like keep going and we are not doing what he's doing. Do you get? So just use the comment section and say, I have installed Python.
Wonderful, wonderful. I see a lot of comments. And also, if you have not installed, you can say that I will install after the session. Also, those feedbacks are very, very key to show that we are having people. You know, these online things, you can sometimes think that you have people at the background and that you're just talking to your computer. So these responses are very, very key, are very, very important, so that we will be on the same page. If you have installed, you confirm. If you will install after the session, you will confirm also if you are still installing. This feedback is very, very important. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. Now, we have what? We have Python in our system. For those who have installed, they have now Python in our system, in their system. And if you do a quick search here on your command line, be it PowerShell, command prompt, terminal, bash, or whatever kind of command line tool you're using, if you just search, for example, Python dash version, I think let me add in this command in the chat. Here, I saw someone already pasted the command. So it is a Python dash version, or V for those who are using Windows, but just type in full version. Then it's going to give you like the version of Python you have. And then when you run, you're going to see the version of Python. You can see at the time we have installed 3.12.9. And I remember this is the stable version by the time we are doing this class. I know it's going to be uploaded in the YouTube and perhaps people will be watching in the future. So make sure that at that time, when you'll be watching, don't go for the latest version, perhaps go for the earlier release to be sure that you are using the stable version. Remember, this one applies on across different tech, like a text. For example, if you're using different programming languages or any tech, anything in tech, don't always go for the latest version. It might inconvenience you, for example, when you want to deploy. Now, great. So now, if you have Python, you know you cannot type Python or maybe code. Like let me show you, for example, an example of a code, Python code. You can see, okay, let me show you something here. An example of a code. Like you'll be having like a many lines of code. Let me show you, for example, real world. Okay, an example of the codes you'll be writing. So you can see it's not a one line kind of a code. So you need to have an interface where you'll be writing the code because, for example, you can write Python programs here on the command line or on the CLI, this command line tool, like a command prompt. Like you can just open and type here Python first, Python, and then you can write some Python programs here. Like for example, if you want to print a string here, like a hello world, you say print, print, and then in brackets, for example, if it's a string, you are going to type it in quotes, and then for example, let's say hello world, hello world. And I remember now the issue with this CLI, you'll have to write like each line. For example, if I want to execute like a many lines of code, so you'll be having to write line by line. So I can see now when I click enter, yes, it has executed, but then this is not ideal. For example, if you have a bunch of codes like this one, that's why we have a specific IDEs or maybe good interfaces where you can do it. You can write like your Python programs. So we have what? We have specific IDEs that you could use, for example, for multi languages. You can use something like a Visual Studio Code. I'll show you later, but then I'm going to focus on the notebooks. Before I go there, guys, let me know if everyone is okay on the Python installation. before I proceed to the next step. You can just confirm if everything is clear on Python installation. Let's see in the comment. I see clear. Wonderful, wonderful. That's great. That's great. Wonderful, amazing. So I said that you don't write what Python programs on the CLI or a command line tools, because you can see you will have to execute each line of code, and you know, most cases you'll be writing like sometimes you can see there's a program here that I've written more than 600 lines of code. You can see it's going to be inconvenience for you to do that in a CLI. So we have specific IDEs. And the base for this program, because we are going to focus on the machine learning, artificial intelligence in the data science whole life cycle. So we'll be using the notebooks. These are the best tools for this machine learning stuff. So to install the notebook, because we have Python in our system, and when we are installing Python, I told you that we have a very, very significant or a very, very important package that will come with Python when you install Python 3.12, a package called PIP. So that's a package that we are using to install all the Python packages, including the machine learning packages, data science packages, and all that. So you open again your command line. So you'll notice that we are using this CLI most of the time. So you're going to do it. You're going to use that package manager, which it has come with Python. And then you're going to just type here pip install notebook. Pip install notebook. You just type pip install notebook. Pip install notebook. Let me type here pip. Yeah, thank you so much, Chanice. I think you are helping us a lot here in the comment. But if you have understood and maybe someone has asked a question in the chat and I'm unable to answer immediately, if you can do it, then you can just answer there. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Wanjiku there. Now, there's the command pip install notebook. pip install notebook, pip install notebook, and then you do what, you click enter. You click enter and then it's going to install. But I know you might have issues for those who are having like you have like a restrictive permissions on your computer. Sometimes it might refuse to install because of the admin privileges or those kind of issues. If it has those kind of issues, what you do, you will run the command prompt as an administrator. You can see I've been running this command prompt normally, but then when you search command prompt, there's a way you can run it as administrator. So when you run it as administrator, it's going to like prompt you to give it permission, and then now you can see now the status has changed here. I'm using it like I'm installing it as an administrator. So sometimes it might fail to like install directly. Make sure that you run now command prompt as an administrator so that you will not have those privileges denied on your end, because I believe maybe on your computer you have those restrictions. So if you have those restrictions, then install the notebook as inside the command prompt that is administrator. So then we're going to type pip install notebook. Pip install notebook. And then it's going to install it in the system. Now it's going to tell me that the requirement already satisfied because I had already installed it earlier. Actually, I usually use it most of the time. That's why it's already there. But then for you, I think it's around 8 MBs. So it can take some seconds or a minute to install, depending on your internet connectivity. I want to confirm I want you guys to confirm in the comment, for example, if it is successfully installing directly or maybe through the administrator permission. You can just confirm in the comment, or you want me to repeat a bit, you can confirm here. You can just type there in the comment, in the chat. Installing, wonderful, wonderful. Great. Yeah, great. A requirement already certified. I think this guy has been using notebook before. Wonderful. This amazing notebook, you're installing notebook. So for those who are installing notebook, then I think your system now can support that notebook directly. You can support your notebook. I know there's some computers that will not work better that way. So I'll show you also another alternative that you can use the notebook, including the online version in the Anaconda later. But for those that it supports, I want to show you how you can now create the notebooks. I want to show you how you can do it. You can create the notebooks. I see there's no question there. People are installing. I think that's fine. Then it means that you have understood. So the next step, I want you to show you how you can create your notebook. I want to show you how you can do it. You can create your notebook. Now, first of all, let me show you. I believe you guys know how to navigate the graphical user interface for your File Explorer. I know most of you know. For example, if you want to access the downloads, you just click there. You can access the downloads. Desktop, you can click there. If you want to create a new folder, just click here at the top, and then it's going to create a new folder. You can give it a name. Then it's going to create. So this is the GUI interaction with your files on your system. I want to show you some basics on how you can navigate this. You can navigate this File Explorer through the CLI, but it's not going to be complicated. I don't want it to be tough for you, like in the first class. But there's a way also you can do it. You can navigate. You can create files. You can delete files through the CLI. But if it's easier to just click for new.
Check again. I've sent you 110, the balance for 260. Kindly check. Harun Gugi.
Okay. So now, so I've just created here a new folder. Perhaps I can just call it, let me just call it something like a test or whatever. Okay, let me just call it notebook. Notebook, because I want to create here a notebook. By the way, guys, I want you to be organized because you are tech people. So you need to be organized. For example, if you are creating for example, if in your computer you have videos, you have images, you have documents, I want you to be you can see in my work, I'm trying to arrange things based on the content it holds. So when you do this way, you can easily access things easily. So make sure that, for example, if you have videos, if you have images, if you have all kind of stuff, make sure that you group your data easily. It's going to help you a lot on accessing items and all that. And in this machine learning and artificial intelligence program, I want you to be creating folders for each project. For example, if it is for learning materials, make sure that you are creating a folder for it. For example, if there's another content under the learning material, for example, for notebooks alone, for videos alone, I want you to organize your work in such a way that it's going to be easier for you. So you can see that for me, I've created a new folder in the desktop, and then a new folder is called the notebook. So the very basics without the CLI, to using the command line to access to create the notebook. I want to. Okay, yeah. So for example, the easiest way, for example, to open the notebook without using the command line, you open this folder that I have just created, and then you see the part here at the top. This part here at the top, if you are on Windows 10 or maybe 11, you see something like a part here at the top where it has this PC desktop notebook or whatever kind of a name it is here at the top. For example, if you are on PC, just click somewhere here, then it's going to highlight it. Then a delete, you're going to delete, and then just type Jupyter Notebook. just type, it's going to type Jupyter Notebook, and then it's going to open this command prompt. And then when it opens, don't delete it because it's now like at the server for this notebook. If you delete it, then you'll not be able to access this notebook here. So it's going to work as the server for this notebook that is opening in your default browser. Mine is Opera. That's why it is opening on Opera. That's why it is open on Opera. I'm going to repeat these steps later, but it's going to open it here. It's going to open it here, and then here you can create your new notebook. I'm going to repeat, guys. I know this one have been quick. I'm going to repeat, but you click here, new. Once it has opened, you click here, new. In this one, it's going to open the drop down. Then you select Python 3. We are using Python 3 here. And then when you click here, it's going to create here a new notebook. So it's going to create a new notebook, and that is now the notebook where you can give it a title, for example, testing or whatever name it is. Make sure that you give it a descriptive name depending on your project. And then now here we can do it. We can type Python programs. Like initially we had used it in the CLI. We said hello world. Let me just repeat it here. So you can say as okay, let's say hello. Sorry, just a second. Hello world, hello world. So here I can execute this command. But then you can see I have the privileges on, writing as many lines of code here as I can without any interference. Like I can just write my codes, then I will execute later. You know, now the advantage of working with the integrated development, or maybe the code editors, instead of using the CLI. Because on the CLI, you saw that we were trying to execute like each program in one line. But then this one you can write like a many code, and then you are going to execute without any issues. So I know this one I've gone quickly. Let me try to repeat. Let me repeat. So I said that once you have Python in your system, once you have Python, let me
Hi,
remove
Mr.
some code.
Nehemiah. So sorry. Can you just
Yes?
check through the comment section so that you
Yes,
can
yes.
understand what people are asking? Can you please
Yes,
check
yes.
through the comment section so that you can understand what people are asking?
Oh, sure. Let me see. Let me begin installing. Sorry, how do you install the notebook? Okay, yeah, I'm going to repeat. I said I'm going to repeat. That one I knew I was too quick. I'm going to repeat how you can install. Send to me PAP3 instead of just PAP. PAP3. Yeah, so after installing the notebook, there is a notice of new release of PAP. Okay, just ignore it. You can upgrade, but there's no problem if you ignore it. If you ignore it, there's no problem. You can just ignore, or maybe you choose to upgrade. So for PAP, there's no issue. Because that's just a package manager. So that one you don't need to have, it's not like Python, where you need to have a stable version, but this is just for Python package manager. So you can upgrade or choose to leave it. You'll not have any issue. I'm going to repeat, guys, on how to install the notebook. And let me first of all close this one. Now, once again, we said that you guys confirmed that you had installed Python in your system. And I said that when you install Python in your system, it's going to come with what? It's going to come with the Python package manager called PIP, Python package manager. What you do, you're going to open the command line tool, like a command prompt or PowerShell or terminal or Git bash or whatever kind of command line tool you're using, and just open it. First of all, you'll check if you have Python by typing Python version, Python dash version. When you click enter, if you see the version there, perhaps 3.12.9, then it means that you are good. And I remember, I think between Python 3.10 onwards, it usually comes with the PIP. Remember previously, those previous Python version, you had to install the PIP separately. but because you are installing this 3.12.9, it's going to automatically will come with the PIP. So what you're going to do now, once you have a Python in your system, I said if you have 3.12, it comes with the PIP. Now you can do what you can install now. You can install now the PIP. Okay, sorry, the notebook. And I remember, first of all, that you need to be connected. You will need to be connected in the internet. And then you are going to do what you're going to type PIP, install notebook. PIP install notebook. This one we are using it directly with this user. I can say I'm using directly within this user. So this one is going to, on my system, because I don't have like those permission issues, it can do what it can successfully install here at the root. It can successfully install here on this user without any issue. But then I believe there's one person perhaps who might be restricted due to the admin issues. So in your case, what you need to do, you saw how I open, that is if you're using using Windows. What you'll do, you'll search, you'll open the thank you so much, Aisha, because I can't see the Zoom. In case there's a question, you can just notify me so that I can quickly check, because when I'm this site, I can't see
Okay, no problem.
I'll appreciate. Thank you. So now what you do, you are going to search for CMD and then run it as administrator. If like it has failed, like to run it directly, run it as administrator, run command prompt as administrator instead of your user, run it as administrator, and then it's going to like you see here at the top administrator, then I just type there PIP install notebook. PIP install notebook, and then it's going to install. Because I've taught many people, and also this process, perhaps there are some systems that do not support either ways. For example, to install it directly, or maybe using this administrator, perhaps it might fail. I'll give you other alternatives for accessing the notebooks using the Anaconda and also the online version. So if you try and it fails, I will show you another way on how you can access the notebooks. So basically, that's how you can install. Is it clear, guys? The step, the procedure. Perhaps it might fail on your system, but basically that step, like that process.
Okay, so if you want the tutor to proceed, just write proceed in the comment section so that we can carry on. Just say proceed in the comment section so that we can actually carry on. Thank you, guys. For people that are yet to be able to install, you can actually check the record. Mr.
Yes.
Okay, we have a lot of proceed.
Yes, yeah. Let me proceed. And I remember I said that it might not work for everyone. I will show you other alternatives. Also because of time, and it will be recorded as well, so you'll have to review because this step is just the same. Now, once you have it, and then I want to show you the best way, the easiest way to create the notebooks without using the CLI, the command line tool. You can do what? You can open your File Explorer, then find a place. For example, for me, I like a place in my projects in the desktop, or maybe on your end, you could choose to place it perhaps on documents or wherever it is. Perhaps let me try to use the documents because it doesn't have a lot of files. Then you can give it a descriptive name depending on your project you're working on. But then because this one we are trying to understand the notebooks, let me just give it a name called notebook. But there I say that because you guys are techies, make sure that you are organizing your work well. It doesn't have to be on this data science stuff alone, this machine learning stuff alone. But in either case, for example, if you have videos, you are downloading videos, music, and all that, make sure that you are categorizing your work well. Like you have the folders. For example, if it is part of the images, make sure that you are placing it in images, videos, like that. So being that organized is very, very easier to access your work. So I'm giving it notebook, a folder I've just created with the CLI. What do we call it? Like a folder, new folder called notebook. And then yes. So basically now, if you're using different operating system, I'm going to show you directly like how you can use the CLI, because this one I'm using Windows. I can demonstrate well for other for other users, for those who are using the operating system, different operating system like Mac OS or Linux. I will show you using the CLI in a few to do that, to navigate. But for Windows, you can see here at the top, there's somewhere a path. If it is 11, Windows 11 or 10, you'll see something like this, where you have these PC documents or this kind of a path. Make sure that you click somewhere at the end, then delete it, and then do it. Type here Jupyter Notebook. Just type Jupyter Notebook. I think I've typed severally. That's why it is prompting it. That's why it has brought here Jupyter Notebook. But I remember Jupyter. But they in Kenya, there's a subtribe called. Oh wait, I think I'm disconnected. Are you able to see my screen still?
Can you please share your screen? I can't see your screen.
I don't know what has happened. Let me try again. What about now?
Okay, your screen is
Are you
coming
able
up.
to see?
Okay, yeah, we can see it now.
Yeah, and guys, don't try to share your screens. Don't try to share your screen because you will disconnect me. So make sure that you don't. But yeah, thank you. So I say that here at the top, you will have this kind of a path. If you're using Windows 11 or 10, you'll see something like a path here. Make sure that you click here somewhere, perhaps here at the end, then it's going to highlight, or maybe click or like open this kind of a path. Delete that entire path, then just type here Jupyter Notebook. Notebook, remember Jupyter, it has PY, like it is JUPYTER space, then notebook. When you click enter, then it's going to open Jupyter Notebook on your default. It's going to open Jupyter Notebook on your default browser. And in my case, it is this Opera. Perhaps on the end, it could be Chrome or whatever it is. Or sometimes it might prompt you to select the browser. So make sure that you select your default browser, and that's how you can open that. To create a new notebook, you click here, then you can create. You can create the notebooks. And let me also quickly show you how you can use the command line, because I believe we have people who are using Linux or Ubuntu. So to navigate, for example, for me, I've placed out my project in documents. There's a comment here. Let me see. Are you guys able to see the screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
All right, thank you. So because you have people who are using different operating system, what you do, you can open your command line tool or your terminal. Open your command line tool terminal, perhaps on Mac, or of course soon we are going to install also the Git bash. We're going to install Git bash. But I think let me do this. Like to make our work easier, let's quickly install Git bash, because this one is going to apply. I'll not need to show you on Windows and different systems. Let's quickly install the Git bash. Let me show you how you can, let's use Git bash, because this one is going to apply for different OS instead of me redoing things, like explaining on the explaining where on Windows, for Windows and Mac OS. So you can go to the search and search for Git. We are going to install in fact, we shall also learn Git and GitHub later, but then I want to have that Git bash command line tool, so that it's going to apply, like the command that I will be writing, it will apply for both Windows users, Mac OS and Linux. So search for Git, just search for Git. Let me give you the link. Let me give you the link. And let me see, okay. Yes, you can use the cargo to get the datasets. When we reach there, we will explain more. So there's this one. There's a link that I've shared. For accessing the Git, for accessing the Gits, and then install for your operating system. We have several type of. You can see we have different type of operating system that is supported. So for me, I'm going to use this one for Windows. Remember, for me, I already have it, but you click here to install for Windows, and then it's going to give you option to install for 64 bits, and then 32 bits and 64 bits, whatever it is. So select, for example, if it's 64 bits, mine is 64 bits. If you're using, I think, Windows 10 onwards is 64 bits. Click on it to download the setup, and then I'm going to show you how you can install. So when you install this Git, it's going to come with its what do we call it, like a command line tool or interface called the Git bash. So this Git bash will apply like the commands that will be writing. It will be similar on both the Windows users and also for Mac OS users or a different user, because you saw in our operating system, so that those commands they will be writing, it will not change. You will not have to explain for Windows users and Mac OS users. So let me install. So I believe we are still following. Yeah, great. So yeah, so that's how you install it, and then you can access it in your where it was downloaded. For example, if it is downloads, you'll see it here. So this is the setup, and then you just click on it. Then it's going to open. For me, I already have it, but let me see if I can be able to show you. So once you click, I believe you guys you have installed any open source software. You have a clue on how you usually install your open source programs. So you just download, and then when you click it, it's going to open the installation wizard. Then everything is just like these guys are legit. So you have to just agree and go next. Next, just click next. And then also this one, also give it next, next. And then so let's get decided. Basically, we'll talk about the Git and GitHub later, but then we'll be creating branches on Git and GitHub. So you don't want to use the main branch, because at the main branch you might want it to be for like your for the GitHub, like on the GitHub version instead of on your system. So make sure that you select this one, such that your default branch will not be main, it will be master. But use this one, but I will talk about the Git and GitHub later in the course of this onboarding program. And then go next, click here next, 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 just click next, go with all the default options, next, next, next as well, again, just next, go with the default options, next, and then this one is going to come with bash. So for me, because I already have it, so it's going to try to tell me like to replace this bash. And these are git bash, but for you, you'll be installing for the first. For example, if you have not installed it before, it will install it like for the first time. So you'll not have this kind of an interface. But then when you have checked everything, then you can do it. You can click here, the install. Then it's going to. Okay, I think there's some open. So for me, I already have it. I need to close it. Okay, it's already opened. For me, I already have it, and it's open here on VS Code. Let me close. Let me try again. Otherwise, guys, okay, let me see. Yeah. So you're going to it's going to like remove. In my case, it's going to remove and install it again. But it's going to come with what? The git bash. Let me know if the git bash installation process is clear. Git installation, if it's clear up to where we are. Wonderful. Great. Yeah, so make sure that I just go with those default options. Like Git, they have made like the Git bash like by default, like it's going to come by default. You don't have to like install it. Give it a permission to install. Like when you install Git, it's going to automatically, like a Python, and install Python is going to come with the PIP as well. On Git at the moment, when you install it, it's going to come with its what, Git bash. So for me, I want to check this option so that it can open what, the Git bash. So it's going to do it, it's going to open now the Git bash. So this now the Git bash. If I expand it, this is the Git bash. Perhaps if it will not tell you like to launch, what you'll do, because you have installed it in the system, what you do is just go to the search and then search for Git bash. You see, when you just begin to type, then it's going to type. Otherwise, if you are on different programs, you know how you usually search. If you are in different operating system, you know how you usually search items. Or I just go to your apps, then you'll see the Git bash program. Then when you click on it, it's going to open. And you can do, let me try to maximize this window so that you can see well. Are you able to see my Git bash? Wonderful. All right, great. So now here, when you type, for example, Python, when you type, for example, Python, then dash version, you can see, okay, sorry, Python, then dash version, you can see it's going to display the same thing as what the command prompt was bringing. But then now the advantage of this one, what I'll be explaining here, it will be similar across different operating systems, because I noticed that command prompt is not available on, the command prompt is not available on Mac OS or maybe Linux or Ubuntu operating system. But then this one is available across different operating systems. So this is easier. Now, if you have the command prompt, you guys have confirmed that the installation was successfully. And then, so the next thing now, you can do it. You can install, what do we call it? The notebook. At the notebook. By the way, if you want to clear this history, remember clearing is not deleting. Like you're trying to just clear the history so that the interface will be clean. You just type here clear. Just type here clear, and then it's going to, it's not deleting, but just creating like a good workspace for you. So, but when you scroll down up, you'll still be able to find the previous commands, but just to clear the workspace so that it can be easier for you. Now, if you want to install the notebook, we say the command is pip install notebook. Pip install notebook, just like that. Then it will install the notebook for you. Because for me, the requirement was already satisfied. Like I had already installed, sorry, I had already installed. That's why it's telling me the requirement already satisfied. So again, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do something called the clear. When you clear, you're going to clear the history. Now, because perhaps you don't have the GUI like for Windows to access the File Explorer, like for Windows users. So what you do, you will need to do it. You need to navigate, to use the command line to navigate to different directories. Like for example, for Windows or maybe on Mac, for example, if you want to access the downloads folder or maybe desktop, you can just use click here. It's going to navigate you to the desktop. When you click somewhere, let me see, documents is going to take you to the documents, downloads. So there's the GUI interaction with the File Explorer on Windows or maybe on Mac OS. You also have those kind of things. You don't interact or work mostly with the commands. But then, because we have people that might be using Linux, and Linux is mostly preferred for commands. Then what you do, for example, if you want to navigate on the File Explorer using the command line, the first thing that I want to do before you navigate, you need to first of all confirm that you have those directories. Like for example, on File Explorer, okay, like if you're using the GUI, you saw that you had an option to see, for example, download desktop, so that you may be able to click on it. So as well, if you're using the command, what do we call it, the CLI, you'll need to first of all confirm if you have those directories before you navigate to them. So you can use what, the ls command. Then it's going to do what, it's going to like a list for you the directories that you have. So you can see now for me, in these directories, I have what? I have 3D objects directory, app data, contacts, desktop, documents, and all these kind of things. What you do, so once you've confirmed that you have this direct, because for me, it is in the project is where? In the documents, like where my folder that I had created, it is in the desktop. First of all, I said to clear. Who can remind us what is the command that we usually use to clear history here on the Git bash, if you followed? Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, we usually use the clear command. Just type here clear, then it's going to clear the history. Remember, you're not deleting those history like a, but you're just clearing to have the workspace. Remember, unless you close this window, those data is going to remain here. It's going to remain here. You can see when I use my arrow keys on my computer, I can retrieve the previous written command when I use the arrow keys on my keyboard. For example, the up arrow key, you can see I can retrieve those commands that I had written earlier. So it doesn't mean that you are deleting, you're just clearing to have a good workspace here. So now what you do, if you want to navigate to that directory, for example, for me, I want to place a project in the where, like in the desktop, and I saw when I do the ls, I saw desktop listed, so I can easily navigate there. So to navigate to directories, for example, on the CLI, okay, on the GUI, you are to click here, desktop, you can see the desktop, you just click here, then it's going to take you there. And then now we have confirmed that we have these directories when you do the ls. Now, because we have the desktop, we can do cd. This cd command is a command to change directory. It stands for change directory. CD is a command to change directory, CD. And then you add in the directory name. For example, if it is desktop, you're going to type what? CD. And then I type, for example, if it is desktop. I know for Windows users, it's not sensitive to cases. But if you are using different operating system, make sure that you type in capital, like the way it is. Otherwise, you'll have issues. It will tell you like a not found. So make sure that you type it in. For Windows users, you don't have to worry about the cases. But then for those who are using different operating system, make sure that you use the correct cases. So like uppercase, if it's uppercase, you use uppercase. So I'm going to say desk. Okay, let me use documents. So documents. So now we can see now I have navigated to the documents. So you can see now the directory here is documents. And then now in the documents, so I've navigated to the documents. So the second thing that I want to check is to see if I have the directories there. I want to see first of all the directories or folders. Remember when I say directories, I mean folder. When I say directories, I mean what? Folders. So I'm going to say here ls to list the directories. And then you can say I have what in the documents folder, I have my music. Okay, I have this report folder, notebook, Zoom, and there are some hidden directories as well. That's why it is listing here. But those are the main folders that I have. So I've confirmed that I have this notebook. If I want to navigate it there, who can tell me the command that I will use to navigate to this notebook? Who can give me the command? Yeah, CD. Let me just copy for you, Yara. Thank you so much. Just copying your command here. Then I'm going to thank you so much, Kelvin, Sakina, for that command. Then I'm going to paste. Okay, I have to right click and then okay. So let me just type CD desk CD desktop. Then now I'm where? I'm at the desktop direct. Okay, sorry. Sorry, I had I had to type notebook. Sorry. I had to type what? Because you can see there's no notebook here. That's why it's saying that no file directory found. So you need to type what notebook. In my case, I need to type what notebook. Sorry, notebook. You'll forgive me, guys. Sometimes when I talk and type, I might get confused. That's why we need to create these powerful AI models that's going to automate things and that is going to improve accuracy. Because I might hear me saying something, but then I write something else. But then now the machines are very, very accurate. That's why this program is very, very key to build things, to automate things, and with a very, very high accuracy. So in this case, now you can see now I'm at the desktop. And now because I'm at the desktop, not desktop, sorry. It is notebook. And then I can do what I can type this command. You saw when I was using the graphical user interface, I was typing there Jupyter notebook, there the path. So here I can do what I can just type here, Jupyter notebook, like this, Jupyter notebook. And then it's going to open the Jupyter notebook. So it's going to do what? It's going to open the Jupyter notebook in my default browser, of which is it is Opera. So you can see now I've done what I've navigated to the Jupyter notebooks. Let me show you, guys, it's clear up to that point. Have you understood the steps? Wonderful, wonderful, amazing, 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 great, great, great. Did you create the notebook? Actually, when you install Jupyter Notebook with the PIP install notebook, like it will be in your system by default. It will be in your system by default. And then now what you will need to do is just to open. It's like you have a program or maybe an app in your computer. If you want to use it, you click open. So because we had it in the system already, this is just a way to open it. Like that command is just a way like opening a program. Just a way to open the program, but then using the command. I said the command to open, you first of all create a directory. You create a directory. And by there, remember, once it's open or running, like this now, like at the server, this now like at the server that is running this application, this Jupyter Notebook on the browser. Remember when you close it, then it's going to automatically disconnect here, and then you'll not be able to work. So if it has opened, don't close that program unless you want to terminate everything. So don't open it. And then once it has opened, then you can do it. You can click new, then you can create a new notebook file. Let me know if everything is clear up to. Okay, so I created using the the graphical user interface, like this panel here. Like I went to the documents, and then I created what? I created a notebook directory here. And then what I did, I just navigated to that directory. I don't want to go into commands because it might scare some people. It might scare some people, but for example, if I wanted to create a directory using the CLI, though I didn't want to do this because it might inconvenience some people, but you don't mind to capture this. Let me open this thing. And then, for example, if I wanted to create a directory here using the CLI command line tool, I'll first of all cd to documents. Remember the command cd is to change the directory. And then there, I can do what? I can create new directory. For example, if I wanted to create a folder name test, then what I'll do, I'll type this command mkdir for creating a directory. Then the directory name. For example, if it is test, it's going to create here a directory called test. And for example, if it's a multi-word, for example, if it is like it's a folder that has multi-words, like a separate words, make sure you wrap it in quotes. For example, I'll say mkdir, and then, for example, test code or something like that. Like if you have a folder that has several names, make sure that you wrap it in quotes. Start quote and the end. For example, if you're using single quote, you also close it with single quote. If you're using the double quote, make sure that you also close it with the double quote. Then it's going to create what? It's going to create like a multi-word. Let me show you a scenario where you don't use this quote, what is going to happen. So if you don't use the quote, then it's going to create two folders. It means that you're trying to create test and also code. So for multi-word, make sure that you wrap it in quotes so that you may not have such an issue. But then, guys, don't worry about this one. We'll come to the commands later. But today it was just simple. I wanted to show you how you can create a directory using this. You can just click here, folder, new folder. I think this is easier. Just click new folder, then I give it a name, and then navigate to it, and then open the Jupyter notebook. So someone is asking, let me begin here. Yeah, I had created a notebook folder. And then is it possible to change directly to a different drive? Now, it depends also where you have, so basically you can, because mine is at C drive, and that is where all my programs are. So I can only access my program through the C drive. But then if you have to use, for example, a different directory, you can just, especially if you install things like at the root, you can access it in different drive. I don't know, let me see. So you can access it like in different drive. So for example, if you're using a different drive, make sure that you navigate there. For example, if it is media, I don't want to go there, but you can just select the directory, the drive, then you can run in that drive. What command did you run in notebook? Do you mean to open the notebook? Is it VK? Do you mean the program to open the notebook? Yeah, so the command to open the notebook, like for example, let's say, let me open again this, I want to close this thing. So let's assume I have this, I've opened this bash. So first of all, I need to navigate where my project is. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to use a command. Let me zoom in so that you can see. I'm going to now use the command cd to navigate to documents. And by the way, guys, I remember you can as well. There's a shortcut where you can just specify the full path to where the directory is, where you can just wrap it in quotes, and then you say, for example, if you want to navigate, remember, for me, I'm doing this because I know when I do the ls, I'll know that the documents will be there. But then for you, make sure that you confirm with the ls command to check if you have that directory. So I'm going to say the documents, and then I'll use now the backslash. Others will have to cd documents and then again to notebook. But you can navigate to the notebook directly by wrapping it in quotes. You say documents, then backslash, then you say notebook, and then you close again. So this way you're going to automatically get to the notebook without you're going to it's going to take you directly to the notebook, like without doing CD to documents again and also CD to notebook. And let's say you want to navigate back to the documents using the CLI, you can just use CD, then ..back. It's going to take you, okay, like a CD, and then a two periods here. It's going to take you back, and then a CD again, then .. It's going to take you also to the root. Now, if you want to navigate again if you want to retrieve the previous written command, you can use the arrow keys pointing upward to get the previous written commands. So I'm going to navigate here. Then let's say I want to navigate this root without doing this one, cd again cd . What I'll do, I say cd .. then backslash again .. So this one, 2 dots. This way it's going to take me to the root without like at once. You can see now I'm at, sorry, it's telling me all right, so I think you'll have to use one. I think this for Windows for command prompt, but then just use one. There's a way you can do this, but it's not working on this. These are this bash, but then you can just use one cd .. to navigate you back. But then, for example, if I wanted to navigate to, like at the moment, still I'm at the notebook. So I'm sure where I want to place my project or where I want to create my files, the notebook files. So here I can now, like once you are at the folder where you want to create the project, then you type this command, Jupyter, the one who asked in the comment, let me see. The one who asked in the comment, let me make sure that, where's, oh yeah, someone saying that I will use the / for to navigate. And there's a question some okay, what command did you run to get to open the notebook? You just type Jupyter. Once you are at the directory where you are sure you want to place your project, you just type Jupyter, then space notebook. Space then notebook, and then it's going to do it. It's going to like open the Jupyter notebook. So basically, this is the command that you're going to write. Just type Jupyter notebook. Remember here at the top, we were trying to type here. We are deleting and then type here Jupyter notebook like this. Then it was open. So it's similar command that you're going to type here. Once you are at the directory where you are sure you want to place your project, then you just type Jupyter notebook. Then it's going to open the Jupyter notebook, and then from there it's going to you can create now the files, the Jupyter files. Let me know if I've answered you.
Hello, Mr. Nehemiah.
So,
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, go on.
Oh yeah. So basically, what I did, the reason I installed I see some question here. My question is, why did we introduce Git after downloading Python? So basically, the reason we installed Git, it is because it has a universal command line tool called Git Bash. Because when I use command prompt, it's not same with the command line that are available on the Linux or Ubuntu or maybe Mac OS. So this is the reason that I installed Git. And for you to get Git Bash, you need to install first of all Git. That's the reason that we installed Git, so that it may come with the Git Bash. So that's the tool that applies, like the command that you write there. It is similar with the command that you write on Mac or a different operating system. So that's the reason. Yeah, so for example, when it tells you like the command not found, it means that the Jupyter command not found, it means that you haven't installed it well in your system. I'll show you also other alternative on how you can create the notebooks. In fact, those that are direct. Yeah, I see most people are having the same issue. This means that it's not fully installed in your computer. if you are seeing this issue here. Yeah, so I don't know if is it clear the installation of Jupyter and also opening, like up to where we are? Let me see the confirmation. All right, great. So because of this program, we need to finish it today. I want to quickly show you also an alternative. For example, if it has failed to install on your command or on your system. So this is now another alternative, but this one is going to use the internet. So you're going to open your browser and then search for Google Colab. Google Colab. So this is an online version where you can create the notebooks, but online. So just search for Google Colab. Then you are going to get, I think, let me share with you the link. Let me share the direct link. Open Colab. Let me share this link here. Let me share the link in the chat. Let me share the link in the chat. So this is the link to access it. In case like everything is failing to install, this is the second alternative, to use the online version. So this one, you don't need to install anything. Just click this link and then you will be able to create the notebook. You can see when I just open it, when I click the link, let me just open it, click here. So when I click on it, you can see it's going to automatically open this Google Colab. And from this place, I can create the notebook. I can click here and then I'm going to create the a new notebook, the new notebook. And then here you can see the interface is somehow similar with this version, but it's just some few changes. But you can see where you write the code is somehow similar. So you can type here, for example, print something, print a number there, and then when you click run, then it's going to execute. But then now this one is going to use the internet and also the Google storage. So this one is not going to affect your system resources. You can just use it online in case it has failed. In case it has failed to install the notebooks in their system, in case the notebook is not working. But I want to give you also another best alternative, especially for those who are seriously into data science and machine learning. I believe all of us are very serious. And by the way, guys, you need to, I hope at one point you'll be able to get a good, computer, because it will reach a point where we'll be training the models with sometimes even around 5 million data sets, records in your data sets. So this one, if your system is not that good, it can crash. Though guys, I will show the best ways that you can achieve. So don't worry if you don't have a good computer, but if you can manage to get a good one, then get a good computer, because it's going to use those GPUs and so your system resources when you'll be training those models. So make sure that if you can get a good computer, then that's good. And if you have a good computer, then this is the best software that I will recommend you. First of all, let me show you the accessing the Google Colab if it's clear. Is accessing the Google Colab clear? You first of all need to create an account, I think. For me, many direct here because I already have an account there previously. Let me know if it's clear. Great. Yeah, if you use Jupyter on VS Code is okay. But I want to simplify this one. I don't want to go to teach you, to show you many things. It might complicate beginners. So let's just stick with the notebooks at the moment. We will talk about the notebooks in future as we go on. I don't want to complicate things for beginners. So an alternative, though because of time, we are not going to it in details, but there's a very, very powerful program or software for data scientists that we usually use to create these powerful, machine learning models and all those kind of stuff. Also for programming generally. Like you notice, for example, if I'm using Python 3.12 to run a particular project, and then perhaps a client might give me a pre-existing project that runs, for example, for Python 3.10. So you'll see that I'll find issues to do it to accommodate this program, because I have my program that runs on this particular version of Python. Then there's another one that runs on a particular version of Python. So you'll have those conflicts. So you can have this Anaconda application, which allows you to create environments. So that you can create an environment that runs, for example, Python, whatever version, then another one runs for another version. And then also it has thousands of data science modules. Remember, data science in it, it's like at the mother of artificial intelligence, and it's a multidisciplinary field. When I say data science, remember we are still in AI and machine learning, but the umbrella for this stuff is data science. So when I say data science, just know that I mean machine learning, artificial intelligence, because it's it incorporates everything, including the data analysis, data cleaning, data wrangling, data visualization, creating models and all that. And by therefore, machine learning still will need to follow those steps, because we need to have data. We create the models with the data. Then in that data, you need to clean it. You need to have some EDA, exploratory data analysis. You need to do the visual to see which kind of modules or algorithm to use for your model. So it is still data science. So when I say that, don't think that it's something else. Just still, data science. Artificial intelligence here. And artificial intelligence sounds great. Sounds great. But guys, let me go to the root. So this is the link to download, not to download, but to access the Anaconda. So it is www.anaconda.com. Let me share here in the chat. And so once you click on it, then what you do, go to click here, free download. I think it's free download. There's something that I was trying to hide here. Let me see. No, not here. Yeah, so there's that free download button. So click on it, and then it's going to take you to this download. But then let me just share this direct version. So this is the updated link. So this one is going to take you to the download directly. And then now from here, you can see if for this, like in this explanation here, you can see you can easily install thousands. You can see thousands, like it has many packages, thousands of data science, machine learning, and AI packages. So this now the very, or maybe the ultimate software for data science. You know, if your computer will not support, for example, if you don't have enough resources, then you could use the notebook alone, because when you install this one, remember it comes with thousands. But then if you are specific for, you want to access the notebooks, you could install as well the notebook alone, or just use this Anaconda because it's the best. This one you will need good resources in your system to run it. And you could choose, for example, to subscribe, or if you don't want to subscribe, you can click here so that you can download. You click here, skip registration, because when you add in the email, they'll be sending the emails. So for me, I don't like many emails, unnecessary emails. But if you choose to receive those emails, you can check here and submit. But just click here, skip registration. And then you'll have an option to do it to download for your operating system for Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. And for me, I already have it. So to install is similar to how you can install any open source program. Because of time, guys, I see the time has really gone. I'm not going to that, but it's just similar step that you could follow if you're installing any open source program. Let me know if guys, okay, let me see, because I think I have it on the system already. I have it here. Let me see if I can be able to quickly show you. I have already installed, but remember to install it, you just click here if you're on Windows, or here. For Mac, just select any of these. For Linux, you can select any of these. Any of this, and then it's going to download the installer. Then after install, now you go where it is downloaded, and you just click on it. Then it's going to install, because it's somehow heavy. Because I don't think I will show you, because it might take some time, and you guys need to like we have gone too much. Let me see if I can be able to manage. So when you double click, you click next, agree. You can see it takes like around 5 GB or something like that. I think it is important. It has opened. Make sure that any program that will be installed, make sure that you add it to the path. Like in this Anaconda, make sure that you check this version here. Like you click these check boxes so that it can be in your environment variable. I see they are saying that it's not recommended, but just check it. Though this one is not that a big issue, but you could choose to add it here so that you can easily access it anywhere. Then you can do what you can click install, and then it's going to extract things, and then it's going to install. Let me know if people will be able to install. Let me know, because guys, I don't want to go to that because it's going to take like a lot of time, and that time has already gone. Let me know if you'll be able to manage. It's similar to how you could install any open source program, so that I could also take your questions and all that. Let me know if you'll manage in the comment. Wonderful. Yeah, it's manageable. Yeah, great. Yeah, perhaps I'll just show you later, perhaps in the course of the program, perhaps tomorrow or whatever day, how you can now use it. But you can try to to install. But if you fail to install, there's a lot of resources online on YouTube on how to install. Make sure that you can just go to the YouTube and search how to install the Anaconda environment. And then under it, we have the notebooks. I will show you how to use now the notebooks inside the Anaconda environment. Now, guys, I want to take the questions. I want to take the questions, general question or question from where we are. As I take it to Aisha. Aisha, I think you can take it. Let's see. Are you there?
So thank you very much, Mr. Nehemiah. Thank you so much. Thank you for this insightful class. I hope we are able to like get what Mr. Nehemiah has put out there. We installed so many applications today, from Python to Notebook to Git. If you know you don't have your own application installed, like I said, this recording would be made available on our YouTube channel. Okay, somebody has a question in the comment section, Mr. Nehemiah. This class ends by 6 p.m. Kenya time, that's Nairobi time, and 4 p.m. Nigerian time. So somebody is saying that what's the difference between Git Bash and GitHub? So guys, if you know that you've not joined, sorry, Mr. Nehemiah, a minute. If you know that you've not joined our Telegram group, that's where you can actually get the recording and all this material, these resources that Mr. Nehemiah is sharing. I'm going to share it. Join the Telegram channel now and follow us on social media so that you would have access to these particular resources that Mr. Nehemiah is sharing. You can go, Mr. Nehemiah.
All right. So on the question on the difference between Git Bash and GitHub. So Git Bash, as we have explained, is a command line tool where you can write like the commands, like for example, commands to navigate directories or maybe to create new files and all those kind of stuff. And then now Git, first of all, is a version control tool. Git itself is just a version control tool to track the code, And then now the GitHub is an online repository for your code. It's like a cloud space where you can now place your code. You can place your code and also track the changes on your code through the Git. Use the Git to monitor or maybe track the changes. But then GitHub now is like an online or maybe a cloud space where you're going to like store your project. Like you can see, for example, if our project at the moment here, it is at the desktop. So it is in this computer where I can go to, for example, packages or whatever here. So this is like my repository. So I set directories or folders for my project, like a warehouse for my project. But then now, instead of using like on your computer, now the GitHub it works like an online version of your of your warehouse or maybe the storage for your project. So Git, first of all, Git is a version control tool to track the changes on your code. Then GitHub is now that cloud space, like a cloud server where you can now store the code. And then now the Git Bash is a command line tool where you're going to write like the commands, like the command that I will use to open the Jupyter notebook or maybe to create the files or to navigate to files, to read the files and all kind of stuff. I don't know if it's clear.
Did that answer your question? Ephantus, you can reply in the comment section. Femi Ado is saying that if you already have an account on GitHub, do I need to open another account or must I download Git Bash? And can you list out all the applications you are to download so that we can run them and to install them? For the applications, I will share the resource with you guys so that you can know all the applications that you need to download. So Mr. Nehemiah, you can go ahead and answer the question, like if someone already have an account on GitHub.
Yeah, so if you already have an account, you don't need to create another account. You don't need to create another account. That account is somehow like it's fine. In fact, if you have managed to create an account, then that's an added advantage to you. And then remember, the reason I installed Git is to get the Git Bash, but we are not learning Git. When we reach to Git, We'll explain Git in details, but at the moment, we are not talking about we are not talking about the Git. Don't worry about the GitHub and the Git at the moment. So the reason we install the Git is to get the Git batch, like at that terminal where, or maybe command line tool that is available across different operating systems, so that I don't need to explain Windows for Windows users, for Mac users, Linux users, so Git bash, because you can install across different operating systems. That's the reason that we install Git, so that we can use the Git bash, that command line tool, Git bash. But we are not doing what we are not learning Git at the moment. So don't worry about many other programs. Just install what we have learned today. Then you'll be good to go, including the Anaconda. And remember, you install only if the computer will support. If it will not support, try to use alternatives like the online version of Notebook, Google Colab, and and all that. Is it okay? Is it clear? Have I answered you?
Okay, you can use the comment section, Femi. Did he answer your question? Do you get it? Okay, pending while we wait for Femi's response. Yeah, we'll just be rounding up here now. Guys, I want you to do me a favor. Just tell me how was today's class in one word. Just use the comment section and let me know. One word. Maybe wonderful, excellent, bad. Just let me know. How was today's class in one word? Somebody said I debugged my error on Python notebook. If it's that, then the issue is just with your system pass. Okay, I think that's for everyone. Okay, please, I'm still expecting more comment though. How was today's class? I see that 7 of us on the call, and I'm getting just few response from you guys. I joined late, but I'm glad I didn't miss it. Somebody said knowledgeable. James said great. Oh, I'm glad that you guys actually had a great time. So, guys, I would also love you to leave your feedbacks in the community. Honestly, I'm not happy. I would send messages in the community. You guys don't say anything in the community, and we really love to hear your feedback so that we can know how we can improve and what we can do to make our classes better and all of that. So please, guys, whenever I request for you guys to actually do something in the community, please let's make sure that we are there to actually do it, because I would ask you guys to also drop your feedback so that we can know where to improve, what to do. Yeah, so thank you very much, guys. Tomorrow's class is the same time, and I'm so sorry some of you are unable to join early because the link that we used yesterday, I don't know, it changed. I thought that it's the same link that we'll be using every day. So tomorrow, I would also send the link for tomorrow's class 30 minutes before the class so that we can all join in. So make sure that you are checking in the community. No, there will be no class on Sunday. I said it yesterday. There will be no class on Sunday because Sundays are for rest. We would also love that you guys rest. So on Sundays, all of us would be resting. So classes continues on Monday. So tomorrow we'll be having classes, but on Monday classes continues, right? So yeah, that is that. I don't know if there is anybody that has any feedback, any question. You can drop it in the comment section that I want to ask a question, then I'll ask you to unmute and ask your question. Is it possible to have the recording uploaded in the evening to allow us follow, especially those attending class from work, so we can be as per? Yes. Okay, the problem with yesterday is that this recording is on cloud. To convert it takes time. But I'll make sure that I convert this one now. I try to convert it so that you guys can have access to it. Also, the person that is supposed to upload the recording to is another thing. But I'll make sure that we get the recording today so that you guys can be able to watch it. Also, make sure that you are dropping your feedbacks in the community. That's very, very, very important. Extremely important. Honestly. If not, maybe we should stop the class. So you guys should let me know. So yeah. And this will be the end of today's class. I'm dropping our link tree again. For all of you that are yet to follow us on our socials and join the community, do that now. This recording will be dropped in the community alone, right? You will only have access to it if you are in the community. And also the resources So all the things that you need to install, all the things that you need to do, all the things that all the, what's it called? All the slides that Mr. Nehemiah showed us, you can only get it in the community. So make sure you're joining. And as you join the community, check all the groups so that you know where these resources is in the community. Please, and I have said it again, if you come to my DM, I may not see your questions, right? So please, let's just use the community to ask all our questions, right? So thank you very much, guys, for joining today. I'll see you the same time tomorrow. Bye, everyone. The community is locked to talk. Are you serious? The community is not locked to talk. BK, can you please send me the name of the group in the community where you want to talk? I don't think the community is logged. Please, guys, I need you to help me confirm that. The general community is opened. AIML for developer is opened. People have been chatting there. Guys, can you check your Telegram where I am saying hello right now, the AI/ML Bootcamp community? Can you, on Telegram or not on WhatsApp? I just said hello now. Can somebody confirm and reply me in the community, please? I can't see your image. My network is not very good. BK, you can send this image on Telegram so that I would confirm it. But can somebody just confirm? I just sent hello. My network is not so great. Maybe my hello is yet to drop. My network is not so great. Okay, guys, no problem. I will look into that and see that everybody can chat in the community. But I'm talking about Telegram community. VK, are you also talking about Telegram community? You can use the comment section, VK. Yes. Wow. Send me this screenshot. This screenshot that you're trying to send there is not loading. Send it to me on Telegram so that I would see what you are talking about. Thank you very much, guys, for joining. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same tutor. Do have a wonderful rest of the days. Bye, guys. Bye, everyone. You're welcome, Yara. You're welcome, VK. You're welcome, everyone. Bye.